Hi,
Uh,
Rachel.
hey guys, how are you?
Good,
Good.
thanks. Hi, nice to meet you, Rachel.
Nice to meet you. To start, I want to start with you, Simon. You put Christoph Waltz as a hitman, and then you paired him up with Cooper Hoffman, which I think is the funniest pairing of like two people I never would have seen as hitmen in my life. When you were building this cast and you had to kind of find two actors that have a really good dynamic in those scenes, what for you was it about Christoph and Cooper that got you really invested in having those two lead the film?
Well, it's all about casting with any film, and you're right. I'm glad you had that reaction because that's the reaction I was hoping for. People don't want to see the same old thing that they would expect, and so putting an unusual actor in an unusual character is fun for the actor, and it's fun for me and the audience because they get to flex other muscles and they get to surprise you. And because the worst thing you can do is with a movie is just be predictable. And so Christoph and Cooper were the perfect mismatch, I suppose, for those characters. Christoph doesn't usually play these sort of hard drinking, partying, womanizing degenerates, but he loved it, and Cooper gets to play this outrageous, Gen Z, gender fluid dressing, manic hitman. So, what could go wrong? So that's really all I do with the casting. And then, you throw in Lucy Lewis, this exotic character who runs this dodgy club in London, and it's a heady little mixture of a spicy cocktail, and that's all I do. Is just put those people together, and they run off and do their fantastic work, and hopefully the audience loves what they do, and I just sit back and take the credit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Lucy, this is like the second time recently where everyone else got to do like shoot guns and run around, and you were like, not me this time. Is it nice to get to kind of have that reprise where you're known for being a badass action star, but letting others kind of take that reign and get to create this weird kind of quirky side character?
Yeah, I love that. She's just sort of the damsel in distress, quote unquote. And she's along for the ride, literally. So she's a bit of a third wheel. What connects them is that she has a very long-term friendship with Danny, and Anata has hopes and dreams. And when she gets there, she's, obviously very much disappointed in the result. And it sort of spins the whole axis of the plot on its head. So, as you said earlier, I think it's very unexpected to see the three of us together, and that's what makes it a little bit sort of off kilter, which I think makes it interesting.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And I wanted to ask both of you, I do think it's so funny because last year we had the movie Hitman, which told all of us that our idea of hitmen is a lie and they don't actually exist. And then this year we have a movie like this where it's like, well, there's warring hitmen and they're all trying to attack each other at this point. For you guys, what do you think it is about stories about hitmen and this world that quote unquote doesn't exist that makes audiences still come back to these kinds of characters and stories?
Well, I think it's a quick read, really. To set up a character, you say, "Oh, he's a hitman," and then you can have fun with it. It's like in the old days, it would be a cowboy. But what kind of cowboy would it be? Would it have been a gun-slinging, professional, or would it be a rancher who's bringing up a family? It's just, I think it's a quick way to get into a world. But when you're in that world, you just got to turn it on its head and tell that character in a completely different way because that is the job, but really it's what they do the rest of the time that's sort of interesting. Shooting a gun accurately is does not make a movie. So, or an interesting story or character to be with. The rest, it's really what they do the rest of the time when they visit their, do they have mothers? Like in this one, our guy, goes and has to clean the gutters out of his mother's house, but he also goes and does a contract killing. So it's what you do in that world that makes it different, not the fact that they're a hitman.
Hmm, I agree. What do you think, Lucy? What is it about
I
this
think it's
genre?
just that these are also human beings, and there's a mundane part of their lives that is just like everybody else's. And that's what makes it funny and also quite dry. So it kind of isn't too serious about itself, even though they're living their lives quite seriously.
I 100% agree. I could watch Christoph Waltz angle shooting somebody because of his wrist over and over and over again. So thank you guys so much for talking with me today. I really appreciate
Thank
it.
you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you
Thanks,
guys.
Rachel. Bye now.
Have a great one.
Bye.